Good afternoon and welcome to What in the Hell Am I Doing Wrong? I am your host, Jameelah B. And before we get started, I would like for you to like this video. And if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel and also share it. Today, I am privileged and honored to be welcomed into the Boys Club. I'm going to be having a little guy chat today with some gentlemen who's going to let us ladies in on what it's like dating from their perspective. And I have two gentlemen who I know very well, and I trust their opinion, and I think we're going to have some enlightened conversation. First, we'll start with Orenthial Brown. He lives in Miami, Florida, and he is an engineer. He's an entrepreneur, an actor, and the CEO of the Tony Brown Collection. And I will be showing his sunglasses towards the end of this broadcast today. And we also have Darryl Moore. He is from Fayetteville, North Carolina. He holds a bachelor's degree in political science and a master's in education personnel administration from Tuskegee University. He's also a professional actor as well as a stand-up comedian. In 2008, Darryl decided to stop performing as a comedian and focus his attention on the film and television industry. Not only has he worked in front of the camera, but he has worked behind the camera as a casting director, producer, production assistant, and assistant director. So I want to say thank you all for being here today. And Darryl, you're currently in Ohio, so I want to get that correction. I think I just said Fayetteville, North Carolina. I know
that's where I was born.
Yeah,
that's where I was born.
Okay, so ladies, if you also have any questions, please feel free to put it in the chat, and we're going to get this conversation started. So first off, I would like to know, what does dating mean to you? Give me the definition of what dating is, and I'll start with you, Orenthial.
Oh, you know what? Dating is getting to know someone, finding out their true nature, their true character, because everybody puts up a mask, initially when you meet them, and sometimes that mask stays on for a minute, but so that dating helps kind of chisel off that mask to get into knowing, who that person really is, getting to know, because spirituality is like the first constitution. So, and then physical and then mental. But when you see somebody, you see the physical first. Mm-hmm. So I don't want to get too deep, but, just chipping off that mask there, to getting to know the person and everything, and seeing who they are.
Absolutely. And Darryl, what is the definition of dating to you?
Okay, before I get started, I want to say that all opinions that you hear from me do not reflect the host. So don't get mad at her.
I love that disclaimer. I really love that disclaimer. So thank you, Darryl.
You see all your hate mail towards me. She'll put my email on the screen later. So if you get mad, it's me. It's not her. I'm glad to be here. So my definition of dating is just like buying a used car. You test drive to see if you want to buy the car. It comes with just like when you buy a used car, you dating somebody, they have an as-is warranty. That's the stickers in the window. Either you like the car you see or you don't. If you don't, you leave it on the lot.
Absolutely. And I think men and women date differently. Yes, my sister said, thank you, Darryl, for the disclaimer. Yeah, because the reason why I asked you all that is because I think that men and women date differently. Because I know, as for women, when we're dating, we look at that person as the only person that we can be involved with at that particular time, because we feel like we're already in a monogamous relationship. I do feel like a lot of women look at dating that way, but men look at it as, okay, I'm weighing my options. So do you all agree with that statement? Do you feel like men, they don't put all their eggs in one basket, that they're very open to dating other people while they're in that dating mode?
You want to go first?
Go ahead, bro.
Huh?
Go ahead.
In the past, that may have been the situation. Now women are multi-dating too, and multitasking, as I like to say.
Multitasking, okay.
It's looking for the bigger and better deal. I've often wondered, do people really want to date anymore? It's just like you go out and do what you do until you meet somebody that you halfway like, and then you go from there. It's not really a getting to know you phase. That's why so many relationships fail.
Mm-hmm. That's true. What do you think, Orenthial?
I think I think dating multiple people is not, it's not necessarily a bad thing as long as you're upfront and honest with the individuals. And say, hey, look, we're going out, but I just want to let you know that I'm dating other women. And I think by saying that, it kind of puts things in perspective, and some women will choose to deal with it, based on my experiences, and others won't. But for the most part, I think women like that opening, that honesty, that hey, I'm going out with other women, and that way they know it's some competition. Like, it's not all
Hmm.
about you. They make them really work hard.
Okay, so and I agree. I mean, I think most women need to start taking that approach as well. Okay, Nikki Reed says it feels as though dating has phased out. It's all about hooking up and chasing the bag. I totally agree, Nikki. A lot of people, courting doesn't exist anymore. People don't want to take the time to date and get to know people. They just want to go immediately to either having sex or getting what they can get from that individual. So I do think that that is what's going on out here now. So
Hmm.
next up, I want to know, what is from you men, what is the first thing you notice about a woman, and what would make you approach her? Because this is what I would say. This is just my opinion. In this day and age, when I was much younger, men approached me all the time. They would come up to me, and I think and when I was a teenager, when I was in my 20s, I would get
Hmm.
approached by men all the time. I don't get approached like that anymore, and I think it has a lot to do with social media and people having access to multiple people, and they feel like that's an easier way to approach. So, do you all still approach women? And if so, what is the first thing you notice about a woman?
When you mean when you mean notice, are you talking about physically, personality, or a little bit of both?
I mean, a little bit of both. What would make you approach a woman? Because I mean, I'm quite sure you see attractive women all the time. So I mean, it has to be something that would make you approach that woman. Because I'm gonna be honest, I don't get approached, and I don't think I'm bad looking, but I don't get approached like that.
Well, for me, I'm into intelligence. So
Okay.
if I'm conversing with you and the conversation's going good and you're very intelligent, that's a plus for me. Looks come and go. I could care less about. I'm not gonna sit and say, yeah, I date somebody that I don't find attractive. But if you are intelligent and you have a pretty smile and your demeanor is right there and you're nice and friendly, that's what reels me in. I don't care about, everybody's like, oh, this woman, she's beautiful. But yeah, what is she like on the inside? Everything looks good on the outside. You could have a Corvette parked in your driveway, but if the engine's blown, you just got a big old paperweight in your driveway. So
Yeah.
that's how I look at a relationship or somebody I'm potentially interested in. I listen to them. That's why a lot of people that I'm around, they'll always say to me, well, Darryl, you so quiet. Why are you so quiet? Because actually I'm listening to them. I want to see where their head's at.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think initially it's physical. It's the physical that actually draws you in, and then comes the mental, and then the last is spiritual or whatever, which is really the first, because before we're mental or physical, we're spiritual beings. So, uh, but yeah, I mean it's physical. It's physical. I think everybody has their preference. Everybody has their body type. Everybody has some have skin color, hair. Some guys. Yeah, I mean, everybody has their type, and that's usually the first. I think, at least for me, that you know draws me in.
Okay. And LaDonna V said, build a body and twerk queens are running things. And I think a lot of people do feel that way because when you go
Really?
to Instagram and that's what you see, and that's the ones getting the attention, and that seems like the
Really?
ones that are getting the men with money or the men that are showing most attention. So I agree with you, LaDonna.
The
That
only
does.
thing, only thing they're getting is a one night stand or maybe a series of one night stands. They're not getting
Right.
relationships.
Mhm.
I mean,
Yeah.
it may seem that way. Just like I look at it as a man, I'm like, darn, all these the thugs, they get all the women, or the dudes that are uneducated with the multiple baby mamas. They keep women just like this, but a dude that's out here working, educated, just regular 9 to 5 dude. You good guys finish last. So it goes both ways, but. And by the
Yeah, it's
time two
funny.
good people finally meet each other, we're so beaten and worn out from all the garbage that we went to. By the time we get to each other, we don't even trust each other.
Yeah, that's true. And Nikki Reed says back then men would approach a woman and ask her what she's doing Friday because he would want to take her out. Now it's about hanging out at the house with hopes of hooking up later that night. Yeah, I agree with you, Nikki. That's why I hate the whole Netflix and chill type thing because to me, the expectation is that later on that evening is going to be some type of intercourse or any something like that. It's not like I actually want to get to know this person. I actually want to date this person. It's not like that anymore. And Lubens Alphonse says there are different definitions of dating based on age. However, the overwhelming purpose of dating is to get a romantic release. This is only true when both parties are not seeking financial aid. Wow, okay, that's a loaded one.
Yeah,
So
I
I mean,
can't
I
agree
can't
with that
disagree.
one.
I can't.
Romantic release.
The
Yeah,
old,
yeah, I guess so. I guess so.
the older you get, the less patience you have for foolishness.
Yeah, and I know
Just
with
like,
me at my age right now, I have low tolerance for BS. So it's like if somebody's coming at me in a way that I don't find appropriate or is not feeding me in some way, I don't entertain it. That's just what I do. I don't feel I should have to. Not at this age, I don't. So
yeah.
I do not. So okay, thinking outside the box, do you think a woman asking a man out on a date is appropriate?
It would really flatter me, to be
It would.
honest.
Okay.
It would. I would be like, well, dang, she asked me out. I like a woman to take charge and from time to time. It's a nice change of pace. Now I don't want her to try to overstep me as a man, but it's nice every now and then. Hey, would you like to go out? Sure, I would. And you ask me something like that makes me feel good. You have to realize men want the same things you want. We want somebody that wants us, that appreciates us, that desires us. The same feelings that you want, we want them too. It's just not manly or macho to say those things, but we want the same things you want.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Is
And
it
Tony, I mean,
is it bad? Okay,
if a woman asks you out on a date, do you think that's appropriate?
certainly is. I think there's nothing wrong with that. Um, but, I mean, nowadays, women make just as much as men, and you know, a lot of them are very assertive, and I don't see that being a problem. I mean, if she asks you out on a date and then she says, "Well, will you sleep with me tonight?" Then that's like
Okay.
something. You say, "Okay."
The likelihood
Nah,
of
that's
that
not
happening.
crazy.
Okay, and I want to go to what Lubens Alphonse just said. Absolutely, that usually means the man doesn't have to pay. I totally disagree with that because I never think that a woman should be opening her purse in the initial phase of dating. I do not believe in that. I really don't. I still believe in chivalry. Honestly, I don't believe that a woman should be asking a man out, but I'm being schooled right now by men who are saying that they find it flattering when a woman asks them out on a date.
That makes you feel good. I mean, I know it does me. If a lady approaches me and she expresses interest in me, I'm like, okay, that's a nice change of pace. It's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah, it's
Um,
good to be appreciated.
I don't think any less of you. Now, as far as this foolishness I see on the internet now, with women proposing to men and all that kind of crap, that's stupid. That's
And
real
I'm
stupid.
about to get to that. I'm glad you brought that up,
Hmm.
Daryl, because that's my segue into my next thing. And I just feel, what were you going to say, Tony?
Well, yeah, I mean, I believe in chivalry. I believe the first few dates, man should pay and everything. And, if the woman is interested, she should at some point say, hey, well, let me get it this time. I mean, not that he should, it's incumbent of her necessarily, but it shows that she's just as into you as you are her. And,
Hmm.
that's a good thing. And me, when I dated, I always made women pay. I mean, let me say that I didn't make them pay, but um, I
Uh oh.
I
The
believed
views
in
expressed on Jameelah Brown's show are not reflective of the two men.
I, I believe in making them. I mean, having them pay sometime. I mean, you a nurse, you a doctor, you a dentist. I mean, show me some love too. It's reciprocity is good because sometimes boyfriend and girlfriend sometimes become husband and wife, and if she
Yeah,
don't
reciprocity
pay
is good. I
it,
agree with that, but I don't
it,
think that it should be a condition or a given. It should be a bonus.
I mean, it's a bonus. It's not like, oh, you got to pay, but it's good because boyfriend and girlfriend becomes husband and wife sometime. So if she's not used to paying as a girlfriend, when you get married, you'll be like, well, you the man, you pay all the bills, and see now you don't set yourself up.
Okay, and I want to go back to something you and I discussed previously before. I remember you told me that after your third date, if you pay for a third date, the woman has to pay for the next date. And if she does not, you are Xing her out of the place. So,
Well,
I mean,
I
Mm,
rephrase that. What I was saying is that, when I go out with a woman and like, I paid for 3 or 4 dates.
mm-hmm.
By the fifth date, I'm trying to gauge what type of person is she. I mean, if is she selfish or what? So it's not that I would say, well, you have to pay, but by the fourth or fifth date, if she wasn't paying or saying, well, I got you pay for dinner, I got the movie, then I just didn't call no more, until she called me and asked me, hey, what's going on, And
Mm-mm.
then I'd say, well, hey, it's all about you, you're selfish, because I think if
okay,
you're into a man, you should be able to pay too. Sometimes you should be able to show him that, hey, I appreciate your time. I pay for my time, you pay for your time. I mean,
okay,
at
I
some
hear you.
point, I mean, not that it's like a necessarily like a time limit, but for me, I gauged it like that. Like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
let me see who I'm dealing with here. Does she think it's all about her, or is it
Mm-hmm.
about us?
Okay, okay.
I have a
Okay, it
whole
bothers
different.
me when I pay and a woman eats only a fifth of the meal and takes the rest home. It makes me feel used when she pays. She can give whatever she likes.
I'm
I mean,
I'm
some
on
people
the
just don't have hearty appetites. I mean, that's just the reality of it. But I just don't feel like it should be an expectation. But again, I am not trying to exert, all of my opinions in this because I did, title this as guy chat. So I'm trying to hear how you all feel about it. So I think,
mm,
ladies, maybe we do need to, take a little bit more initiative and possibly pay for some dates. I have no problem paying for a date if the relationship is established, but I'm
if
not going to initially be the one.
I'm pursuing the lady.
Exactly.
Uh,
Hmm.
that's on me.
Okay. So
And
if
I'll
she's pursuing you, it's on her.
Even if she asks me out first, it's still I'm still gonna be putting the bill because I don't know. I'm Southern. My father raised me a certain way. Um, that's just me. I don't knock anybody else. If I have an interest in you, that means I want to spend my time with you. That means my resources go towards you. But I make it known what my intentions are before I even go on a first date with you. I
Okay.
do what I call like when they do a phone interview, I let you know everything. That's why a lot of people, I either
and
scare them off and run them off before we even get to the first date. So I don't wait. We don't waste each other's time. I tell you what my intentions are, what I'm trying to accomplish. Either you're with it or you're not. If you're not, then you go your way, I go mine. That
Right.
way we don't waste each other's time and money.
I agree with you. I rather somebody tell me their intentions up front, and so we don't have any misunderstanding. And if it's not what we both
Mm-hmm.
want to do, we can move on. There is a question directed to you,
Mhm.
Orenthial. So if the third date is a simple picnic in the park, does that count?
you all are really holding me to this third, fourth date stuff.
Yeah,
Basically,
because the last time you were on with me, you made it a big deal. So and
I
that was a big, big deal.
mean, I guess in essence, what I was trying to say then, and what I'm saying now, is that at some point, me personally, I would like to see some reciprocity. That I'm not
Mm-hmm.
just, you know, I'm not the one that is vested in trying to get to know you, or we're going out there. I want to see that you're not a selfish person, because some women feel like they got the goods, they got the panani, and you have to pay anyway because that's what you want. That's what guys want, and so we should pay because our reward is getting that. You know, so it's I just think that at some point, even it's the fifth day, sixth day, I want to see that there's some reciprocity. If it's like, hey, you know what? Oh, you paid, I'll leave the tip. A lot of times, it's not they don't pay. You know what I mean? But um, I want to see it. I want to see that. Hey, oh, let me pay the tip. No, 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 I got it. But in my mind, I know that okay, this person is genuine. That they are genuinely invested in me. You know.
Okay.
I have never been a casual dater. So if say I asked Jamila out, I said, Jamila, would you like to go out? She said yes. Before we even go on that date, I'm on the phone with her. I tell her what my intentions are. I'm like, look, I like you. I'm asking you out because I like you. I want to get to know you better. If that's not what you're feeling right now, you're talking about, well, I'm not looking for a relationship and all that, then I know to back up and leave you alone because that we're not on the same page.
Mhm.
That
Gotcha.
way we don't waste each other's time. And I darn sure don't waste my money feeding a dead horse because why would I be over here out with her knowing she don't want a relationship and she's not built trying to build towards what I want or what I'm seeking when I could put my focus somewhere else.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Some women need, some women, there's some women might be like involved. You might meet some. I feel like, what if you meet somebody who likes you, but they have somebody, but you're interested in getting to know them, and you know, like you don't believe in, what am I saying here? Like, I think that before you can really date, you have to be friends with the person.
Mhm.
So, you know, if I go out with a woman and I pay or whatever, it's dating, it's friendship, because this person may not, they may not work out as like in a relationship, but as a friend, they may be a good friend as well. So I don't, the whole casual dating, going out. I mean, if you find somebody interesting, take them out, get to know them. Sometimes a woman don't know. I think when, if she wants to date, she might say, "Wow, I thought you were an asshole," and you seem to be really cool. Whatever.
Mm.
So
And I like what Donna said. I mean, Daryl, they telling you to preach in the comments, but what happened to developing organic energy between two people? False intentions can be expressed at the onset of a courtship. So then what? I agree. I mean, a lot of people lie and they say what they want, in the beginning, and that's not actually what they want. They just want to get what they want to get.
It's easy to tell when somebody's intentions are right if you pay attention to them. See, ladies, a lot of the mistakes you make, you think we're complex like you are. Men are very simplistic.
it's true.
The way your bodies are built is complex. A man is very simple. If a man can get up in the morning and pee, he's pretty much good. Uh, our bodies don't shut down like yours. We don't have the problems and the issues that you have. So I like if you ask a man right now, if you ask all the men in this chat, you say, "What do you see?" They say, "Oh, a glass." You ask a woman the same question. "Oh, it's a glass about a third full with dark liquor." We're not that detail oriented. We're not that complex. A man is a very simple thing. You have to realize the key to any man that you want. A lady can have almost any man she wants with her clothes still on. And then
Mhm.
I'm gonna tell you this: it's what you say to us. If you speak life into a man, you can pretty much have your way with any man you want, and that's the God's honest truth. All you gotta do is get right here, tell him, "Baby," and mean it, "Baby, I believe in you." That man will go all out to make you happy.
Yep. Work two jobs: sex, silence, and sandwich. Simple.
What did you say? Sex, silence, and what?
And a sandwich.
I mean,
Simple.
he's making fun of it, but I'm serious
I'm
because sex
joking.
sex comes and goes. I can get
Yeah.
sex when I can't get food or water, but if
Mhm.
you speak life into me
Yeah.
and you believe in me, and I know that you have my back, the last thing I'm gonna do is try to do anything that will disappoint you.
Right.
Right. Mhm.
Period.
That's true.
You got it.
Cooperation. Cooperation is what I think, most guys want. We want cooperation. We want cooperation. We want a level of submissiveness and humbleness, and that level of cooperation. And we'll go all out. We'll go work two, three jobs. Hey, you don't have to work, baby. It's and I think a lot of sisters, they don't understand that it's
Mhm.
all about cooperation and being cooperative, supporting your man, like the brother said, and speaking life to us. Hey, I got you. What you want to do, let's do it.
Mhm.
You know,
If
Terry
you
Park said, I can get sex when I can't get a piece of bread. That doesn't impress me. What value do you bring to this relationship is what I want to know because I will show and tell you what I bring. So, what I'm hearing is if a woman is speaking life into you, encouraging you, showing you love and support, and I want to kind of explore this word cooperation because what does cooperation mean? Because a lot of times when I hear things like that from men, it falls in line to me with like obedience. Like I just want you
no,
to, mind me. So I
I
just
don't.
want to know, like, what do you mean by cooperation?
Cooperation is not you doing what I say when I say how. I'm not
right,
your master. God is your
right,
master. You're
Mhm.
my partner. If you're a good partner, we're going to work together. If not, then we need to stay away from each other. I
Right.
don't I don't try to control anybody. Let me address what Terry said. Um, when I say I can get that sex when I can't get food or water, I mean there are women out there that will sleep with you before they even get to know you, and they don't care. Maybe not you personally, but trust me,
Hmm.
I'm 51 years old. I have seen the best of ladies, and I have seen the worst of ladies. I'm not making this up. I'm telling you what I've seen.
Hmm.
Um, I'm wondering how graphic I can get. I don't want to run your followers off. But
Keep it kind of,
okay, I'm
adult.
trying to keep it PG. What PG
PG, yeah.
13? Okay, because I could really go there. Maybe we need to do an after dark show one day, and I can really go there. But seriously, there are women, no lie. Maybe not you, but I'll guarantee one of your girlfriends in your circle, somebody that you know, you like they always having relationship problems. They're not having relationship problems. They are settling for less than what they want. And then a lot of women you'll hear say, "Well, I ain't gonna do this if he don't make this amount of money." Da 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 da. And we have a false idea of what a relationship is. My parents grew up dirt poor. My dad and my mom, if they both lived to make it August 6th, they'd be married 50, no, I'm sorry, 65 years.
Wow, that's awesome.
My parents were so poor, they went to the pawn shop and bought one plate, one cup, one spoon, fork. One ate and the other one had to wait their turn. Now
Wow.
they had all of it, dirt poor, and they still together. Brother got married in a big church, so did I. Didn't make it 10 years. See, if you put your value on the wrong things, your relationship will fail.
Mhm.
You don't put your relationship, value your relationship on things. You love each other. If you don't love each other, everything's going to fall apart.
That's
My
true.
parents, now, according to today's standards, my dad would be what they call a buster or a bum or whatever. But my mom believed in my father, and my
Mhm.
father believed in my mother. And through good and bad times, they worked together and they made something.
Hmm.
But people nowadays are not willing to that. They want you to come together prefabricated, already ready to go. Or they want you to have a six-figure salary. They want you to have a house on the hill, try a Benz in the driveway. And if you see Terrell coming down the block and he's in a Chevy truck and he might be have his own landscaping service, but he's self-employed, he's not good enough. Or if you see a lady over there working at, say, Walmart, she's not good enough, but you don't know that she's going to school at night to get her master's degree. But you look over her and you bypass a good thing looking at material things.
Absolutely.
I just graduated school 2 weeks ago. I already have a master's degree, but I went back to get more education. And
Right.
Yeah.
people were looking at me like, "Oh, you working a 3 part-time job?" Yes, because
Mhm.
I have my kids in school. I got two in college. One just graduated high school, and I cannot teach them to be real men if they don't see a man.
Exactly. Exactly. And, looking at your parents being married that long, we don't see that anymore. We don't see longevity. We don't see people trying to stick it out in their marriages. They're not, we don't see the men taking, the rightful place in the home and making those
Mm-hmm.
marriages work. And that takes me to something that I've had numerous discussions online about, and it's been surfacing a lot. We've been seeing it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of women are proposing marriage to men. And it really disturbs me on so many levels. I really don't understand. This woman right here on this photo, she is actually
Pregnant.
pregnant, and she's
Pregnant. Yeah.
proposing to a man, and he's standing there with his hand over his mouth. And to me, I feel like that's emasculation, and I do feel like, why are women going to these levels? And then I went as far as to see this also today that was very disturbing to me. I saw a young lady actually proposing to the guy, and his body language said everything to me. Like he was so not interested in.
Mm.
Off the screen. He was not interested in her proposing to him.
Mm.
And see, she's standing there as people surrounding her and,
Mm. Mm. Mm.
encouraging the behavior. The gentleman seems extremely uncomfortable about what is happening, but, he doesn't know how to react. She's down on one knee.
Mm.
Is a
Mm.
group of
Mm.
supporters supporting. I would not support a female friend of mine doing something like this. She's laughing and giggling because to me, she knows what she's doing is weird and awkward. So as men, if a woman did this to you, I want your honest opinion. How would you feel about it?
I would feel so uncomfortable
Mm-hmm.
because I'm like, That's my job. I'm supposed to ask you to marry me.
Hmm.
I'm offering you my last name. You're not offering me your last name. It's weird. It's just I don't
Hmm.
know. I base a lot of my decisions off what I saw growing up. I
Right.
saw my father had his clear cut roles as a man. I saw my mother had clear cut roles, and I saw what they did together. So that's the model I use. And it's been my experience in life. Anytime I've deviated from the example I saw with my parents, who are married 64 years, everything has failed.
Hmm.
So yeah, maybe old fashioned what they did, maybe old school, whatever. Old times changed there. You can't do what worked for them, don't work for you. Obviously, their blueprint works well for them. They've been together 64 years and had 3 kids and 6 grandsons and 2 great granddaughters. So obviously something works there.
Right. So, Orenthial, how do you feel about a woman proposing marriage to a man?
Well, I mean, I have mixed feelings because, I mean, it's not supposed to be like that.
Hmm.
Um, but it's a nice gesture, not in public like that. I mean, it's obvious that he's not feeling her. If you're not feeling a woman and she does that, it's and it's like a public embarrassment, for
Hmm.
her and you. Um, I mean, if it's done behind closed doors, um, I don't, we're in a new age now, so it's different. Maybe it's not supposed to be that way. Um, Kind of shows some desperation.
Yes.
No, in the sense of the pregnant woman, it's more like,
Mm.
hey, you tricked me. I'm pregnant from you. Now you got to marry me. You
Yeah,
know?
but I mean, and it's like you're pregnant and you're now asking this man to marry you. And I don't know if they were joking or not, because I mean, some of these things are made up. But the whole the optics of what it is, I mean, it does not look well, and it's definitely promoting to me negativity. It's very toxic to me because, like Camila Spence said, it's disgusting. A woman who proposes marriage to a man gets what she gets. She is choosing to be the head of the household. She can't expect the opposite. So when women say they want their men to stand up and be men, if you're stepping out into the role of what a man is traditionally supposed to do, to me, you're diminishing that man, you're emasculating that man, and there's going to be a problem. So
I
I
get
do feel like that. And as Celia said, many are looking for equality and going half on it. Half means you are not prepared to be married at all because you can't or won't hold it down 100%. I agree. What were you going to say there?
it's
Yeah.
just certain things that a woman and should do, and certain I don't care if people think I'm old fashioned. There's certain things a man should do and a woman shouldn't do, and vice versa.
Right.
If you're in a relationship, you should never your hand should never touch a gas pump if we're together.
Exactly.
You should never be changing no oil, rotating no tires. If you
Right.
got a house, I got a house, your grass should be cut by me, or either I
Exactly.
see to it that it gets cut. If we're in a relationship, now we just in the dating phase. No, 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 no.
Right.
But if we've gone exclusive, because eventually the plan is to merge households. You're not out there pushing a lawnmower and cutting hedges and all that stuff. It's just certain things. I don't know. I just grew up like that, so it just
Yeah.
stayed with me. I guess that's why. I don't know.
I,
I guess what I'm called, what they call a dinosaur. I guess I don't know, but
no.
Yeah, we
you
need
don't. You
more
shouldn't be.
dinosaurs.
Yeah, you shouldn't be pumping gas. You shouldn't be checking oil, changing oil, rotating tires, putting air in tires. None of that.
I
Mhm.
call it. I call that, when you cut a woman's yard and you fix up her house or you help her with stuff. For me, that's like other ways to pay. Because if I'm cutting your grass, if you and I are dating and I'm mowing your lawn and everything, that saves you 25 to $50, a week. Um, if your house gets broken into and I come in and change the locks or change the lock, that's
Mhm.
money. That's other ways to pay. And I think it's important that men have those basic skills. Know how to change a tire. Know basic stuff about cars, about houses, things like that. But you'll find a lot of brothers don't have that skill. They don't know nothing.
Mhm.
I mean, they might know a PS4, some of them,
They're
but
And
just soft. They're just soft. Just to say
yeah,
it like it is. They're just soft.
and I'm going to Nikki Reeves. I need to find out who Nikki Reeves is because I'm liking her comments. She said, I think women are getting fed up being with these men, supporting them, holding them down, and building them up for 10 and 15 years with no view of marriage in sight. So I think when you all say being supportive and holding your man down, and then it doesn't materialize into anything, that discourages a lot of women from that because of past relationships. So if a woman
That's
has
say that
experienced
again. Wait a
that
minute. Say that
pain,
again. Say that again.
mhm,
You bringing baggage from the past into a
yes,
relationship, it never works. That's what makes
right,
the relationship fail. If I
mhm,
bring my baggage into the relationship and dump it in your lap, Jamila, you're like, well, I didn't do this to you. Why are you bringing this up?
mhm.
It's if you're not healed, the hurting people hurt others. If you're not healed from your past, don't date nobody else until you
Don't
get
date
get
nobody.
healthy. Just
Right.
sit down
And I
because you're going
agree.
to
I feel
cause
like you
a
don't do the work on you.
line of hurt people.
I agree.
Yeah.
And Terry
My,
Park says, we have been fooled by romanticism. If you look at all the romance movies or read romance books, it has given us a false sense of what love is. And so many folk marry or date looking for that garbage of what romanticism sold us. It's nothing wrong with a little romanticism in your relationship, but I do think that people do need to be realistic about what is really going to happen in your relationship. It's not going to be a Hallmark movie or anything like that. So just be
Yeah,
realistic
but people
about that.
expect that foolishness, and then when they don't get it, then they in their little Moscato circles with their girlfriend. Girl, ain't no good men out here. Da-da. But you got one. He just ain't. Yeah, he ain't the romance novel guy, but the dude holding down a job. He making sure the lights stay on. He making sure you got something to eat. He make sure all your needs are met and some of your wants. But because he's rough around the edge, he might have some calluses on his hands or whatever. Oh, he ain't no good man. So a lot of times you see a man like this, like I don't know what you want, because they stand there with their hands up. They're confused.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
It's frustrating. Trust me, ladies. It goes both sides. Y'all are frustrated. We get frustrated too. Trust me.
Yeah.
We just don't verbalize it like y'all do.
Mm-hmm.
Back to the sister question. Why would you be with a man for 10 and 15 years? You supporting him, spending money on him, and he's not. I mean,
Hmm.
I think you do it to yourself when you let a man string you along that long. I had a buddy who was a whiz at that, by the way, and you know, he used to break it down how he would do it. He's like, well, I'll let him, I date him, and then when they start talking about marriage, I'll buy him a ring, and then I'll string it along for like 3 more years. You know, and when they say, well, I want to get married, and he said I would buy him another ring. So I mean,
Hmm.
you
Why
can't let
waste the time and money?
yeah, he had it like that. But my thing is
Hmm.
that he didn't want to get married, but he wanted to continue, the love affair. So he would just buy a ring, and and some women are
Jesus.
just content with, oh, I got a ring, and then 2 years go by, you look up because time flies. Before you know it, you're still with the man in his 7 years.
Yeah, and to me, that goes back to your intention and people being honest and transparent. So this goes into my next question. A lot of women are strung along by men. So how long after you meet a woman do you know you would like to be more than just casual? So if you're dating
Hmm.
somebody casually, how long is there a time period on that, or when do you know? Because some people say, "Oh, I know instantly if I want to move on with this person." I
I
mean, is that true?
I can only speak for me. I know before I ask you out what my intentions are with you. But what comes out of your mouth when we talk, that determines whether it's going to go any further with me. Because I don't, like I said, I don't casually date. I never have. Some
Mhm.
people just, oh, I was out with this woman this Friday night. I was out with this woman Saturday. I was out with this woman in the middle of the week. I've never been like that because I'm not trying to juggle all that madness in my head. And I'm not trying to waste
Mhm.
my money, and I darn sure ain't trying to catch no diseases. So if I like you, you're the one I'm out with. And I tell you before we even go on the first date what my intentions are. I'm like, look, I'm trying to get to know you. I like you. And if
Mhm.
you're not on that vibe, I tell her point blank, I lay all my cards face up. I'm like, look, I like you. I'm trying to develop a friendship with you and lead to a relationship. If that's not the vibe you on, leave me alone now. Do not waste my time on my money.
Right.
And I
Yeah,
tell you that before you don't
exactly.
even get the first date if you don't pass that pre-screening process.
And I think everybody needs to have that. He's why waste time and money. And she said
It's a
she
good
agreed with
standard,
Tony.
Daryl.
Some women
Pre-screening.
are content with just the
Mhm.
ring. Yeah, because in their mind, oh, at least he gave me a ring. I mean, the desperation is real out here, and people are just settling for whatever. And to piggyback off that question,
Mhm.
okay, if a woman is really into you and you're not really into her, would you continue to date her?
Nope.
Depends on.
And
Mm-mm.
why is the answer no, Daryl?
I'm 51 years old. The average life expectancy is what, 75? I'm not trying to
70.5
waste the
years.
rest of my days on this earth with somebody that anybody that I meet now, I'm asking myself, this is real life stuff. I'm looking at this person. I say, when I'm on my deathbed, I'm about to take my last breath. Is this the person I want to be holding my hand as I leave this earth? Is this the person that's going to stick by me when I get sick? When I'm not up and running like I am now, is this person going to stick it out with me, or are they going to turn their back and walk away? And if any of that causes me pause or hesitation, you're not the one, and I leave you alone.
Okay.
I think when you're younger, you might. I think younger guys do that, because there's some benefit. Maybe it's sex, maybe it's money, whatever. But I think as you get older, you realize that time is winding up, and you don't have time to waste time. You have a low tolerance. I think men, as we age, we get a low tolerance for BS and
Yeah.
game,
Mm-hmm.
and we want to pay. You know,
Mhm.
Nobody's getting younger. No time to play no games. So.
I totally agree. It was something I saw. I wanted to. Okay. Nikki Reeves asks, should people be asking what is their timeline on marriage? So when you're in initial phase, as a man, how would you feel if a woman approached you and, you all in initial dating phase and asked you about marriage or brought up the conversation of marriage? Would that scare you?
It
Yeah.
wouldn't scare me, but it would make me think, where her head's at, and then I would follow it up. I'm like, well, hey, obviously you're interested in getting married, because I had women tell me, look, I'm trying to get married. I'm like, really? I said, do you want to get married? Then I throw it back on them. I say, are you trying to get married, or do you want to be married to me? Big
Right.
difference.
Mhm.
Because everybody, when I was younger, they thought, I want children. Okay, you want children, but do you want to have my children? Big difference. Because anybody can get pregnant, then you sit there and the relationship goes sour. Then you going back and forth and using the child as a pawn to get back at me because we're not together anymore. But if you come to me and say, Darryl, I love you, I want to be your wife. Darryl, I love you, and I want to have your children. That's a difference. We got a soul tie.
Oh,
But
I'm
if you
glad
just
you
want to
brought up
have
soul
babies
ties,
and
'cause I'm
be
bringing
with
that up
somebody,
later. Mhm.
hmm?
Okay.
So,
Yeah, but
so, so then on that note, I mean, you said the woman says, "I want to be your wife, and be married to you." Isn't that kind of like her proposing as well? Kind of.
No, if she just brings up the conversation of marriage, like if I'm dating you, or if I'm dating somebody and I come up and I say, I would love to be married one day, just the conversation of marriage. Or if you're dating someone and you say, okay, if I'm dating somebody for X amount of time, marriage needs to be in our, down the road in this amount of time. Would that scare you off? Like some women, they have a year, timeline. If we start dating within a year, he better propose to me.
uh,
So
That's scary. That's scary. You know why?
Jamila,
Because that person is going to say anything,
mhm.
probably anything and everything,
to to get what they want.
just to get what they want. You
I
know.
had Jamila before I moved away from Atlanta. I was dating this woman. I'm using the term loosely. She said, "Well, I expect us to be engaged by the end of 6 month time." I said, "Hold up." I said, "What are you talking about?" So one day, I kind of brushed it off. We had been out and had a few drinks. I said, maybe she's buzzing. I said, let me just let that one slide for a minute. So I'm sitting. She was getting dressed, and I was sitting on the edge of her bed, and she opened her jewelry box, and it was like a row of like 4 or 5 rings. And I said, wait a minute. I said, what are you doing with all these engagement rings? She said, oh, well, I was engaged, and then we broke it off. I said, oh, you're a collector. That's what I said in my head. I hurried up and cut that off because she was collecting things. She expected rings, and she was like, I'm telling you, I'm accustomed to a certain lifestyle. I said, well, you need to keep a good job to maintain your lifestyle. I said, anybody that comes into your life, they're an addition to your life. They're not to be your life.
Mhm.
You
I
should be able to
agree.
sustain yourself, whether you got a husband, a boyfriend, or whatever. You should be able to sustain
Absolutely.
yourself, and vice versa. That man should be able to feed himself, house himself, clothe himself, and everything else. And when you come into the picture, you're just an addition. You're not his source.
Mhm. This comment is a little disturbing. Okay, for men past 35, the goal is not marriage. It is gaining and maintaining control of our bank accounts. The last thing we need is hungry and barefooted women to compromise our security. I mean, this disturbs me because I don't think that a lot of women, past men past the age of 35. 35 is not even that old. And I think a lot of men with this mentality, you all have the thought process that women are just out here to try and get your money. And I have never gone after a man for his money or anything
You
like
haven't. You haven't. To
that. And
say
a
that
lot of
again.
good women that I know have not.
Like I've said way back in the beginning of this live, by the time, say you're a nice person, by the time you get to meet a nice guy, both of you have been so battle tested and beaten, you don't trust him, he don't really trust you. Both of you kind of looking at each other out of one eye. Trust me, I could write a book about unstable women that I've encountered in my life, but I don't bring that baggage to whoever I'm interested in. I would never do that, but it happens. There are women out there, and there are men. I'm not gonna sit there and make it one sided, that are just no good, and they all they care for is a come up. So you hear a lot of time, well, why don't men want to get married? I'm gonna tell you why. The way that statement is written is a little harsh, but I'm gonna tell you the truth, and I hear it from guys all the time. I like her, I want to be with her, but what happens if the marriage goes south, or we got kids involved? I lose custody of my kids, and I got to pay child support. The house that I help pay for, I lose that, and I'm in an apartment, and she's over here in the house, and then the kid, and over half of my income is gone. My way of life is gone, and I'm expected to try to move on. Um, the saddest thing you'll ever see is a broken man. The saddest thing you'll ever see, and I don't mean material things, I mean emotionally, because every woman that he encounters, he's gonna hurt. That's why I tell anybody, if you're not healed from whatever you dealt with in your past, sit still. No
Mhm.
matter how long it take you, sit still. But a lot of men, it's not about we don't want to lose, it's that they're afraid. It's not about losing money. Money can be recouped.
Right.
But
Right.
when you spent your 20s and your 30s building something, and then you think you've met the one, and then you look up and then the marriage goes south, and she got 2 kids by you, and she go down to that courthouse, and she dropped some crocodile tears, and then the judge dropped the hammer on you. Now that big $600,000 house that you had, she now has it. The kids are there, which is fine because those are your children. They're supposed to be able to live the lifestyle that they had when you were in the house. But there's no equity. Okay, if we both divorce, we both help build that $600,000 house. Let's sell it. You get a $300,000 house. I get a $300,000 house. We go and we're both able to sustain ourselves and take care of our children that we have together. The courts don't see it that way. So a lot of men are just outright afraid to get married. But if you're
Yep.
afraid to get married and have kids, gentlemen, wear a condom or get fixed.
I totally agree. I mean, I do. And I think you need to just be you need to really, really know the person before you get married to them because I mean, I'm divorced, but when I got my divorce, my ex-husband and I, we never even saw the inside of a courthouse because we came to our own terms. I mean, granted, we did not have children, but
That's it. You
we
didn't have
we did
kids.
we did handle it like civil mature adults, and it was an easy process. Granted, we didn't have children, so I had to take that layer out, but we handled it, and I didn't want to like leave him all messed up, but he was very fair
Oh,
in the divorce. He was. I mean,
that's
the terms that we came to, it was something that we agreed upon. And I mean, he did a lot of things for me after we were divorced that he did not legally have to do because he wanted to make sure I was okay. And we looked out for each other in that situation. So
Mm-hmm.
every woman ain't trying to take y'all to the courthouse and
right.
get paid.
Let me say something.
I agree.
There's
I agree with you, Jamila. I agree.
there's a quote. There's a quote. It says marriage is like a well, marriage can be like a parking garage. The longer you stay in, the more it costs to get out. But
Yeah.
I heard that quote before. Okay. But I mean, it happens. You just have to be able to try to evaluate,
Mhm.
someone well. I mean, you could meet the perfect person, then years later they change and they decide to get divorced. I think to avoid that, marry a woman that got something. If you got something, you got a six-figure salary, then you marry a woman that can bring that to the table or help you build it, or help you build, period. Because whatever you build, you split anyway. And most married men that divorce that I know, they actually went up, you know. They actually got better. They actually, regained after 2 years or so, and they did even better than when they were married. So I mean,
I
it's a
don't.
risk. It's a
I
risk.
don't. I don't care what kind of income you bring. I just want you to treat me right. I'll take care of myself.
I agree. That's how I look at it too.
I
Right.
just want you to be nice. And if I fall down, you call 911. Don't spit in my food. Don't push me down a flight of stairs. We get along just fine. I don't need all the other stuff. Because what you make on your check, I was living before I met you.
Right.
So I'm fine. I'm good. I don't need your money. I don't want your money. I just want you to be nice to me.
Absolutely. That's me too. And I bring this next question up because, especially as Black women,
Oh, okay.
we're always targeted saying that we're angry, we have attitudes, we have horrible um, vocal skills. Like we say very mean things and harsh things.
Mm,
So
mm.
we want to know as women, what is something a woman can say that will make you never want to speak to her again?
Oh, that's easy. I have children. And this particularly same lady with the ring collection. That's not that was strike 2 and 3 when she said this to me. My youngest son, I wasn't married, and she pretends she was so religious, and she referred to my youngest child as she said, "Oh, you and your 2.1 kids."
Oh, wow.
And when she said that, I had to literally do my arm like this because I don't hit women, but I came real close that time.
I'm
And
glad you
I,
did
and
that.
I had to walk off. I said, wait a minute, what did you say? You know how when somebody say something, you have to do like this and lean toward them. What did you just say?
Mhm.
You and your 2.1 children. I said, so, you saying my child I had when I wasn't married is illegitimate or whatever? Ah, okay. And mind you, she had never been married, never had no kids. So her perspective is different. I should have never gotten involved with her.
Mhm.
But the point is, if you say something like that, or you tell a man that he's a failure,
Mhm.
uh, or you put him down, you not his masculinity, but you try to take his manhood. You say things. You're verbally abusive, and you say things that attack me here. You're a failure. Uh, I had a young lady I really liked in college. I never forget her, and she said to me, "Well, I just don't see where you going anywhere with your life."
Oh,
I'm
wow.
21. Not 41. I'm 21. We the same age. Fast forward, I saw her before I left Atlanta, and I mean, I thought she was the prettiest thing walking at the time. Life wasn't kind to her. Now all of a sudden, she was up in my face right here at homecoming one year, just all up in my grill, and I was like, "Well, you know what? Remember?" And I brought it to her attention. I said, "Remember what you said about me?" Yeah. Well, I was young. I said, "Well, I'm older now." I said every time, and I threw it up in her face real bad. Though I must admit I was being petty. I said, next time you turn on TV, text me and tell me which channel you see me on. And I walked off.
Well, that
I
was
said,
a good comeback. That was a good
yeah,
comeback.
I had been waiting 20 years. I said, I was looking for her every homecoming. Where this health at? Where's she at? Yeah, you said I wasn't going to be nothing. Now, every time your mama and you turn on the TV, I'm on one of them channels. I said,
Sure enough.
DVR me. And I walked off.
So, Orenthial, has any woman ever said anything to you
I mean, I don't think it's so much like something
that would
that
make you never want to speak to her
said,
again?
something that she said. I think just being uncooperative and being lacking submissiveness, being controlling and bossy would probably really, after a while, just kind of make me say, this is not for me. 'Cause-
Mhm.
I mean, it's not so much what a woman says. I mean, a woman can say a lot of stuff. Words really don't hurt like that, but it's just that just being uncooperative, just being not submissive, being authoritative. Like trying to lead me. I'm the leader, of the relationship, not like some of y'all, be thinking. But the man is the titular head of the household, and there's a certain level of of respect that we should have garner from our women. Our women have to respect us and respect our position. And so I mean, I think just being disrespectful of you know who I am is probably the thing that would make me say I don't want to deal with this person or speak to them again.
Okay. And I want to go back. Darryl brought up soul ties a few minutes ago. So soul ties are something that I really think is real. And I do feel like with all this people having casual sex all over the place, you can get caught up with these soul ties. And the definition of soul ties is a spiritual, emotional connection you have to someone after being intimate with them, usually engaging in sexual intercourse. So, with that being said, how do you all feel about soul ties? I mean, I look at it as a negative thing. So, I mean, I just want to know, it could be positive, but a lot of a lot of it comes from negativity and can be extremely toxic because, in my opinion, whoever you're sleeping with all the other people they're sleeping with. And they're bringing all those spirits and all those things and all the things that's going on with them into your life. So, how do you all feel about soul ties?
Well, I have a positive spin on soul ties.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just a hopeless romantic. I don't know, but I'm for real because I've always I think my biggest problem in life. I always fall in love so quick, and I always because I'm a hopeless romantic. I mean, I'm real corny like that, but and some people try to take advantage of it, but I I met somebody that I liked. I liked them for a long time, and I didn't say nothing to them for a long time because I thought that they were out of my league, so to speak. So I never said nothing. Then finally one day I said, I looked at myself in the mirror while I was shaving my head, my face. I said, you know what? This ain't like me. I said, either they gonna like you back or they not. Just get it over with. And that's things been good ever since, I guess.
Okay. Okay. What about you, Orenthial?
Well, I mean, emotions are very strong, and I don't know too much about this. So, I mean, I know it's energy and things like that. Um, People will, there's a saying that says, people will forget what you say, people will forget what you do, but women will forget what you do, what you say, but they will never forget how you make them feel.
Mm-hmm.
And when somebody make you feel, pleasure attracts. So when somebody makes you feel a certain way, you can almost forgive them for anything. And the whole soul ties thing is, so I guess they're bringing experiences, and their baggage, I guess, into the bedroom, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to understand the soul ties. You got real esoteric on me. I'm like, I got to start thinking deeper. Um, I mean,
I don't want you to get too deep into it. It was just.
oh, okay. I mean, I don't know. I mean, the whole soul ties thing. I think that this is what I have to say to that. Um, Somebody can control you. For me, I think it's like polarity. When a man focuses on a woman's body and her sex, then she controls his mind.
Mm-hmm.
When he focuses on her mind, he controls that part of her. No, that's what I have to say to that. I mean, you could be tied to somebody and then you make love to somebody else, and you're like, wow, like that feeling or that tie is gone. I think so.
Okay.
Got
So
real lost there. I wasn't.
I got you. So we're kind of winding down. So I'm just going to ask you all 5 questions and
Go ahead.
answer it pretty quickly. So I just want your opinions. So, what is a good place for a first date? So, as a man, where is a good place for a first date?
I go to Cigar Lounge. No, I'm just playing.
Yeah, he is a cigar blogger. Everybody, if you're wondering
Yeah,
why he smokes cigars all day.
but seriously, I like to read. So Barnes and Noble, and plus you can get something to drink there,
Mhm. Okay.
something like that. I'm square. I tell you, I'm real square. I like bookstores and
Waffle House.
yeah, something
Well,
quiet.
Chris G, I ain't gonna be mad if somebody took me to Waffle House. I would go and I would get my scattered, smothered, and
Another
covered
than covered
hash
because they don't
brown
have Waffle
and
House up here. We got one in Cleveland, and I go as a special occasion. It's
oh,
rare.
okay.
I
Yeah,
love
we
Waffle
got
House.
a thousand of them within the
Right,
same
right. The
street in Atlanta,
headquarters
but
is
I
now in
will go
Atlanta.
proudly and be happy. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Orenthial? What is a good place for a first date?
I think pretty much anywhere if you can get some food, drink, and be able to talk. There's no, the club is definitely not first place.
Mm-mm.
You know,
Okay.
I know a good place to meet women, the mall. But anyway,
That's funny because I don't even go to the mall. I don't know the last
And
time
I've
I've been to
never
one.
met anybody in the
oh
mall.
goodness,
That's different.
Hmm.
yeah, women are dressed up really nice. They're going to be in there for 3 hours, and there's no music.
Yeah, Barnes and Noble's still open because I went there the
Yes, Books a
other day.
Million, Barnes and Noble,
You
half
know, I'm a
price
book
books.
nerd, so yeah, they still open. Okay, I like to always ask little funny stuff. If you can date any celebrity, who would it be and why?
Y'all not gonna
Why you
laugh at
blushing,
me.
Darryl?
You're not gonna laugh at me.
No.
I always had a crush on Countess Vaughn.
Really?
Yeah, I like
Okay,
the, I
okay.
like the,
Give
I
County
like
some
them,
love.
I like them little chunkies with the big pop eyes and the fat face. That's my thing. And
Okay.
the lady on Grey's Anatomy, the doctor, the black doctor,
Well, I know you're talking about. I
Chandra
can't think
Wilson.
of her name.
Chandra Wilson. Good
Yeah. Okay.
God
Yeah.
Almighty.
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy.
Okay. Okay. And you picking the non-traditional ones that people usually go for. So okay, that's good.
Hey, some working right in her life. Chandra Wilson got 4 kids and a husband. Some working. And
Hmm.
Halle Berry is about this big, and she can't keep a man.
Y'all leave Hallie
Oh,
alone.
for
Y'all leave her
Halle
alone.
Berry is crazy. It's cat shit. That's
No, no, no. We're
look
not
here.
gonna do her like that. We're not gonna do her like that.
I'm from Cleveland. I live in Cleveland, and she grew up here. Everybody say the same thing. That girl been crazy since she was a teenager. Yes.
I would say Amel Larue, the singer.
Ooh.
Okay, okay. Amel LaRue is cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Like it. Okay. Is it a good or bad idea to date someone from your past?
Hell yes. If they will pass for a reason.
So it's a good or bad idea.
Mm-mm. You go this way, I go that way, or vice versa. Mm-mm. It's a reason we ain't work out. Just keep it pushing.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
Okay. So you say no, it's a bad idea to go back to somebody from your past.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
I think
Mm-mm.
it's a bad idea.
Only cars should go in reverse.
Okay. 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 So how about this? Okay, so what is more important to you in a woman? A pretty face, a banging body, intelligence, or a nice personality?
Uh, the body part I don't care nothing about, but I definitely got to be visually attracted to you. But what's up here and what comes out of here is what's gonna keep me.
Okay.
Because your body come and go as we get older. Everything gonna start sagging and wrinkling and hanging, and that comes and go. Your teeth gonna start coming, your hair start falling out. I don't care nothing about all that. What's up here? What's here? And you gotta be. I gotta be able to look at you without vomiting, of course. But yeah,
Okay.
You choose two? Jesus, this is like what's the top?
What's important to you?
A nice body and nice body, intelligence, and great personality. I mean, I think
So you want the total package. You want all the good.
why not? I mean, it's out there.
Yeah, it is. It is. It is. It can be attained. So, men, before we close out, what are some words of wisdom or something you want to give ladies moving forward who are single, trying to, get back in the dating scene? What expectations would you tell them to have for dating, or just some words of encouragement?
oh, that's easy. If you want to find out if a man really likes you
Hmm.
before your clothes hit the floor, if a man really likes you and you're in the town where the woman that raised him is living and if she's still alive and he takes you by to meet her, he's serious about you.
Hmm.
Period.
Yeah,
If a man takes you to meet his mama or his grandmama or whoever raised him, and
Yeah.
if she's still alive and he takes you to see her, he's serious about you. You're
I
not just
agree.
somebody casual.
I agree. And I
Cause
can say that from experience. My ex husband, I was the first woman he ever took home to meet his mother. The first. So, and she said she knew it was serious because he had all the years he was in college or anything, he had never brought anybody home to meet her at all. Even when he was in high school, she was like, she met girlfriends on a whim. It was never like he actually said, Mom, this is who I'm dating. He actually took me home. I was I was a pescatarian then. Didn't eat meat. He made sure she had something for me to eat and everything. So she said she knew that he was serious about me because he
mm-hmm.
never took that kind of initiative for any other woman. So what do you think? What words of encouragement would you give women?
I would say never let a fool kiss you or a kiss fool you. um, if you wanna get married, definitely have those wife skills, cooking, cleaning. Some women say they don't want to be a pretty, what you call it, a pretty slave and stuff like that. And there's nothing wrong with that. Do your duty. That's what it's all about. It's about duty. It's really not about equality so much. I don't think. I think it's just duty. If somebody break in our house and we're married, I got to get the shotgun and die for the family. Is that fair? Was it not fair? So, and if you want to get married, I think, for the women, you have to kind of let a guy know that you're not going to be around or be single forever. You have to give him the indication that, hey, um, I like you, we're dating. I'm just going to let you know I'm not going to be single forever. I'm not going to be in this forever. And you have to mean it and give him a sense of, I might lose her, type of thing. So, if you do that and then let him know that you need him, like you can't live without him, then that is basically, that would really help the person say, oh, I better, tighten up and things like that. But let a man know you need him. Let him know you need him.
Okay.
Like you can't, like, if you can't function without it, like, hey, I need you, baby. And I think men, you know, that's what we want to hear.
Okay. I hear you. So, okay, well, thank you, gentlemen. And I'm going to put, if you want to get in touch with Darryl, this is his website, www.more-ent.com. is scrolling at the bottom of the screen. If you want to, Tony has some sunglasses. So if you want to check out his, it's
Oh
TonyBrownCollection.com.
yeah, let me throw my eyeglasses here. Hey, y'all support black-owned business. I'm
Yep.
going down in history as the one of the greatest eyewear designers of our time. I'm having a Memorial Day sale, so check it out. If you want to get a lot of attention, wear these. I get stopped all the time. All my customers are calling me, telling me how much they get stopped. So, definitely Tony Brown Collection. Like my Instagram, follow me. I really appreciate it. Thanks.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, thank you all for being here. Thank you, Darryl. Thank you, Orenthial. I mean, I'm
Thank you
glad
for
to have this
having me.
moment.
Thanks.
For having some men to talk to us, because I'm always coming from a female perspective. So, it's good to hear from my brothers too. And I would like to leave you with know your value, ladies. Never settle, and don't let society dictate your life or define you. So, with that being said, I want to say everybody have a great Sunday afternoon, and thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel, hit the notification bell, and share and like this video. Thank you. Bye-bye.